Hello, this is Stefan with Nitrocodon Dynamics, and I am the dev for the Loomsong Chronicle Idle. I guess video is just going to be a showcase for what I'm working on. So I'm hoping that I'm able to put out this game come mid to late August next month. Um, it is for the most part, it is all agentic coded. So I'm using primarily Codex and Claude Code to create this game. I just want to start off saying that, I am an artist myself, a musician, a writer. I've been prompted to make music videos for people in the past, and those are still up on YouTube for not only local bands, but one, semi national band. Um, so I understand where people come off anti AI, but as someone who's been prompted to make art and who has prompted other human beings to make art, sometimes they don't follow through. And I've had projects that I was super excited for that I was personally working on writing. Namely, the last one was um, a RPG, tabletop RPG campaign for like D&D, and I had tried to get an artist to make the art for it because the publisher wanted an actual artist to make the art for it. That was like their thing because for whatever reason the internet hates AI generated art. And he never came through. And I think that's anyone who's tried to hire an artist to do art for them for a project has felt that before, where they couldn't get the project done because they hired an artist and the artist never came through with the art. They were either too busy or what they were handed wasn't what they wanted. So that's always been a problem. And for me, this is what AI fixes. Um, Especially like the newest models. I know some people don't like it, but um, it is what it is. So I'm just going to give you an example of the workflows that I've developed with it to help me do essentially like the pixel art for it. So one of the things I'm working on right now is reanimating the walking for the playable characters in the game. So I'll give you an example of the issues that, I'll run into. And it's just like the walking animations. And this is the cool thing about like using AI to develop is you can create debugging tools with it. And this is the stuff you'll never see on anyone else's channel. Obviously some of this is I feel like is kind of trade secret for me. So I'm not going to go into all my workflows, but I did help it develop these little animation cards. So I can kind of see like how the sprites are going to be animated in the game. So when I come here to the walking frames, I kind of noticed that like it doesn't really look too good. I've already had it fix it for like the human playable race. So its walking is reanimated and it looks good. Right now, I'm kind of having it work on one of the other playable races that Elleron, which is kind of like an elvish like race, and it's messed up a lot on it. So it's a work in progress. It's never perfect. Um, the same thing, I kind of created that working on the some of the monsters that you fight. Some of them are good, some of them are not. So I created workflows to where I could just see the animations so that I could either fix positioning or sizing issues, and it was actually really, really good about reanimating a lot of the monsters that I needed reanimated. So I just want to say, like, the Loomsong Chronicle actually started off as a text RPG game. I can even load it up here. I haven't loaded it up in a while. I started making this like months and months ago. Um, it was a really cool game that really started the whole Loomsong Chronicle idea, and it really was like you could create a character and then you would start off where it's synced up to your API keys, your AI API keys, and it would just like create a story for you, and then you could start traversing this AI generated world, and that's kind of like a text-based RPG, so that has like directionalities, etc. in it. I don't know if it's gonna start. Yeah, so it was really cool. You would have an inventory, you would kind of go through different directions. It would tell you which way you could go, and then
The world.
see,
The
that's kind of
galaxy
cool.
was singing
It has
before your mother
plugins,
learned
so
the grammar of
it
her
can
own
read it
name.
back to you. And this is
Civilizations
all
rose
written.
and fell between notes.
I'm gonna stop
Gates
it.
welded, ships
So it was really cool. Like, it would read back to you what the scene is, and every time you play, it was always different, right? Because, you know, AI hallucinates. Sometimes it would create something different, but it would have like a, I guess, like a template for the save, but it could build on that save. It could create new items, create new things. But I pretty much created the whole entire Loomsong world. The Loomsong being, I guess you could say, like the divine spirit of God, or something that's like the energy that shapes the strings of and the threads of time, basically. And I created that from scratch, the world, building everything. And the world the Loomsong Chronicle Idle exists in is that same world. I just didn't really like text-based RPGs, so I love ARPGs. And that's kind of what the Loomsong Chronicle Idle is. It is a idle. It's an Unk game, right? So it's an idle ARPG. Has this really cool theme song to it. Actually, let me turn that down. Elven whispers call us to a journey. Yeah, that's better. And essentially, it is in the world of the galaxy of Cantus Minor, or what we call the Glitter Song. So that would be like the Milky Way, so we call it the Glitter Song. And when you start a game, there's right now there is 8 playable races. They all have their own racial learning bonuses. They'll tell you right here in a description about what they are. It has attribution points also that you have to give it, so it's very, very D&D based. My idea for the game was that you would have this like kind of D&D style, Path of Exile style, Elder Scrolls style game. Those are like my favorite kind of games to play. Growing up, we'll just call her Guy that, whatever. But there's kind of combined and merged into like a really smart system. Some of these UI might change by the time it comes out, but this is kind of how it is now. The party menu is probably the most in-depth thing. So you'll have your attributes, racial bonuses, you'll have all your like health and mana. This is where you manage your equipment. I love Morrowind and all the other Scrolls games. I hate when you feel like you are locked into just like having like 5 equipment slots. I know that makes it easy for developers, but I just think it's kind of boring. So I just went all out with this. Like why can you only wear one ring? Like why can you only wear one bracelet? You also have like your weapon slots, so there is like a smart aspect to it where you can switch back and forth. You'll have your field tools, you have food, so it is kind of a survival game where you will have hunger and thirst. And then if you have a belt on, you'll be able to also, slot potions and lockpicks, things like that. You take your belt off, you can't because those are full. So fully interactable. You can drag and drop items into the slots, or you can just click to equip and unequip them. You can do shift to, split items up. So that's really cool. Put back on your belt. Then you have your abilities. These are basically like spells or attacks. And these are all your character stats. So like I said, I love Path of Exile, so you have all your resistances and your crit chances and fortune find. It's, you know, it's a loot based game, so that's kind of one of the integrations I have for it. I just love stats, I love loot, I love items. Here you have the skills too. This is like you know, the themes from like the Elder Scrolls series or like skill based games. There are no level caps on anything, so all the numbers keep going up. And then you have like your skill masteries, so whenever you every 25 levels of your skills, you'll be able to choose skill masteries. I think right now you can choose some traits. They kind of work like traits. You'll get these little cards, and then, you know, you'll have some signature ones that you can get one time only, kind of like dual wield is one of them. And then you have every 4 character levels you get like a trait. Masteries are kind of like a very similar thing, and it just, you know, some of them stack, some of them are one time. So hero gains increased experience by 2% per rank, so you'll choose that, and then you have that for good for the rest of the game, right? That helps you just level up faster. Then your abilities, so this is like the current ability that is equipped, so whenever you use it, it's the same thing like in the Elder Scrolls. You use like a skill or a spell, it increases in level, except these scale infinitely. And you know, the more you know, you'll have equipment slots, so you only can have 8 at a time in one weapon set, but you can have 2 weapon sets on, so for a total of like 16 abilities you can use at any given time. This is just like a melee based ability, but you know, we have like a starter healing spell, fireball spell, and then you have like runes don't open up until you're level 50. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't a horrible botched explanation of the game systems. Then you'll be able to buy and sell just at the local town. This is High Anchorage. It's just like a little like spaceport city where your portals start. You'll be able to dismantle equipment to learn how to make them. You'll be able to make equipment. You'll be able to, you know, if you master a skill book, just basically by using it, once it hits level 1, then you know it for good. It disappears, but you can, as long as you have the right materials, you can create it again. Outfitter, just buy and sell stuff. This is kind of, you know, probably won't be too useful outside of just selling stuff later, you know, probably will be like crafting stuff mostly. But this is just to kind of get you started. This is your roster. This is where you'll create your teams, because you can have a team of 6. You can have 12 people in your roster, but you only can take 6 people into an actual expedition. Essentially, you can like hire, you can reject them, hire another. This might change a little bit before it comes out. But this is like the tech here. So you'll have like party formations, and these actually do work in game. They're not like, each one isn't like crazy different, and maybe there'll be different party formations we can come out, but this kind of like helps you customize your party more. You have like tank, melee, range, DPS. You have like a healer you can set them to, and these will just make it like, if you have 2 different weapon slots or different kind of abilities, they will prefer those over other ones. So like, let's say you have a ranged weapon in your second slot, but melee in your first slot, and your melee damage, are usually just going to be using your melee abilities unless there's an opportunity to use that ranged ability in a fight. So far it kind of works out. I'm not really going to get too crazy into it, but you know, we have your pinnacle bosses, which I won't really demonstrate, but those are functional. But you essentially will open a portal. You know, the first off is just the Greenville Frontier. You'll open it, and then you'll enter the world. And this is kind of, I guess, like the main core of the game is these expeditions. It just opens a portal to one of these like worlds, and your guys just, I mean, it's an auto battler, so they just take control. They go on their own. You sit back, you're an unk gamer like me, and you're at work, but you want to grind some gear and feel good about it in this kind of like cute, or I don't know, to me it has like art wise, I don't know, like it has kind of a Daggerfall Morrowind vibe to it, but I also kind of wanted to have that Octopath Traveler vibe to it a little bit also. There are going to be like expedition modifiers, kind of like how there's map modifiers in Path of Exile. The bigger your party size, the more health they get, the enemy damage, and later on there is going to be like, you'll be able to choose like map mods, etc. So people can be downed and they can be killed. So right now you can see that it's downed and my main character is reviving an ally. There will be revival spells, but in the beginning it takes about 30 seconds to revive somebody, and then there will be a revival kit which will bring it down to 10 seconds, and then the revival spells are practically like instant. They'll just have long cooldowns, which they're not going to be too hard to get, but as you get more loot and more spells, and then of course if you have low HP, you will have party members rest up, and then everyone kind of is just standing by going like, come on, what are you doing, like get up. But eventually I think once they get to like over 50 HP, they get back up and start going again. So yeah, you just want to, I guess, like make sure your tank is geared and has pretty good gear. That way they're not just like constantly getting downed in every single fight. You do have like huntable like deer and boar in every single level that will get you crafting materials. I don't know why they didn't kill that one, but it just has like a chill vibe to it. And yeah, this is the game so far. I'm pretty excited. I just wanted to kind of showcase it before it comes out on Steam soon. I'm waiting for it to hit the stores, or at least have that coming soon profile in the Steam store. So I'm just kind of hoping I can build the hype around it and continue to work on this game more, hammer out all the bugs, create a really beautiful world that everyone will feel excited to have their guys explore. And of course this whole time they have been picking up gear, and you equip them. I think I got a belt here, so that gives him the ability to start putting potions on. So that's water and food, so that's how water and food works. And lock picks you can put on him now. And then of course I don't think I gave it, I think everyone's just fighting with their fists. But yeah, you can equip the spell book, which then gives him the ability to use this fireball spell. So that's it. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching this if you got this far, and I will see you guys whenever the game is finally released.